Imagine the most expensive party in history that spent millions of dollars on it was not in finest hall or luxury hotel. It was literally in the desert. The party, which includes all presidents and the important personalities in the world, and how this party caused the anger of the Iranian people and a revolution in Iran. In 1971, Iran was preparing to celebrate the 2500 years anniversary of the founding of the Virgin Kingdom. Iran at that time was under the rule of a person named Muhammad Rida. This person called himself the King of Kings, and he was wearing a crown studded with diamond and gold. He thought he was a holy person and he is the greatest king on earth and all of this shit. You can say this man was injured with a high level of vanity. He was not only arrogant, nah, he was also a dictator who ruled the country with weapon and power. In the 50s and 60s, Iran was living in bad political conditions and bad economy. The people were suffering from poverty and arrest of anyone who opposed the king's rule, and sometimes these people were executed. So there were always attempts of assassinate this king, but all of them were unsuccessful. This man wanted the whole world to see how powerful and rich he is, and he is the king of kings. And he chose the year 1971 to prepare a huge party, which considered the most expensive and luxury party in history. The beginning was to determine the location of the party, and when we talk about a luxury party, it's supposed to be in a luxury giant hall or in the most expensive and luxury hotel in the world. But he said, you know what? I'm different. I'm gonna do it in the desert. What? In the desert? But how? Is there you will sit on the sand? And something else. How the most expensive party in history being in the desert? Just wait, my friend, and you're gonna understand everything. Preparing this party took a whole year, and the biggest problem was the country's shape and the bad infrastructure. This means there's not even a place to host this huge party. And the king said, what? Will the presidents and the kings of the world see this thing? Hell nah. But don't worry, the king found the solution. So of course he will improve the infrastructure and improve the shape of the roads and the shape of the country, right? Huh. Did you think I will do these boring things? I am a king. I will not walk around these people. So he decided to build a city in the desert. He built a city in the desert and his people are suffering. And yeah, they choose a space of a small city that's being prepared to host this party. And they decide to turn it into a tree forest. But king, this is a desert, okay? A desert, so the plants can't live there. No, I want it. I want a forest in the desert. And yeah, they imported 15,000 trees to be planted in the city. But not just that. They said, you know what? We need some colors, you know? And they imported 15,000 flowering plants to be in the desert. And to search for water to water these plants and trees, they dug underground wells all over the city. But my friend, I have another question. How did they plant these trees in the desert? What I learned in the school says that the desert sand is not suitable for agriculture, right? Yeah, that's right. And that's why they imported a huge amount of arable soil to the city. But the king said, okay, I got the forest in the desert, but I feel it's a little bit boring, you know? And what I know, the forest should have some animals. And they imported 50, not 15, 50,000 birds from Europe to put them in this desert. And that's why the most of these birds died. And they built a large golf course to give the place some freshness, you know. I think now you will say, okay, all this is nice, but where these people will stay? They built tents. What? Tents? I thought you will say this is the most luxury party in history. My man, these tents are not a normal tents like you take with you in camping. I'm talking about a big tent. Each tent was a royal suite. Every tent continued 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and a large living room and a kitchen with a professional cook. And of course, I should not say that every tent was fully air conditioned. And away from these tents that were only for the convenience of the visitors, there were 2 huge tents, one to receive the visitors and the other for the food. And for the food, a contract was made with the French restaurant Maxime, which closed its doors for 2 weeks before the party and transferred its staff and equipment to Iran. Imagine that 18 tons of food were important to this party. 18 tons mean 18,000 kilograms of food. And to secure the party, there were more 65,000 policemen to guard the place. Kings, presidents, celebrities, businessmen from all countries of the world were invited to this party. I won't name everyone like the King of Spain, the King of Belgium, the King of Sweden. You should know that every king who was there at that time was in this party, except for the Queen Elizabeth. On October 14, 1971, the party has begun that will continue for 3 days. And 250 limousines took the visitors to the party place. The party began with the entry of the King of Iran and announcing the beginning of the greatest party in history. Imagine the only dinner table was 70 meters long to be the largest dinner in the history. The party, which was broadcast live at that time, was described as the party of the century. The value of this party was estimated at $1 billion in nowadays, with calculation the inflation and the currency difference. After the party, the whole world was talking about what the King of Iran did. But the opposition found it a good time to attack the king, who spent hundreds of millions on a 3-day party. The Iranian people were very angry when they saw millions of dollars spent on a party while they were suffering. And in 1979, there was a revolution in Iran that overthrew the king's rule, and the King of Kings become looking for a place to escape. And yeah, that's it, my man. If you're still here, don't forget to like and subscribe and follow me in my Instagram, okay? And see you in the next video. Goodbye.